On an ordinary day, like all the days without problems, living things on the planet 66 million years ago believed that it was an ordinary day, a new day. Its life began as usual, but it was the last 5 seconds in the life of these creatures. A giant asteroid with a diameter of 10 kilometers descends on Earth at a high speed, at a speed of 30 kilometers per second, in the final stage of entering the atmosphere. Flying rocky crumbs, each rock of this crumbs turned into a fireball that made the air very compressed, and its temperature was getting hotter. It fell to the ground, and in Mexico State nowadays, it has not yet been completed for 5 seconds around the Earth and a life of inside her to hell. At the moment of his collision, and from the severity of the collision, he sent a huge debris into the air, but that is not the reason why creatures were killed in that period, as this is just the beginning of an upcoming disaster. This violent explosion sent large pieces of glass and pieces of molten rock flying into the air. Then they returned to Earth in the form of acid rain. This continued over several years, meaning that there was no pure rain, but rather rain in the form of chloric acid. This continued for many years. This is what caused very massive fires. This collision took advantage of a large tsunami, causing giant waves, including what is known as a deluge. Its strength was more than 30,000 times that of other tsunamis, and it did not leave any opportunity for the coasts to take a specific reaction. In fact, not all dinosaurs died at once. There are some dinosaurs that survived the disaster, such as the babies that were inside the eggs. But the bad news is that after this, the dust settled, which caused what is called nuclear winter. Nuclear winter is similar to nuclear weapons in its destruction and impact on living organisms. A large amount of debris rising into the air has blocked sunlight on the Earth. Some scientists say for months and others say for years. This is what will cause complete darkness on the Earth, and the temperature will be very low. This is what will cause the plants to not initiate the process of photosynthesis, and thus no growth of plants. There was no food for herbivores or carnivores, and thus all living creatures became extinct, most of them dinosaurs. After 1,000 years of the impact, life returned naturally and gradually after the acidic winter. Life did not end completely, but the rats, squirrels, and even cockroaches that lived inside the burrows were able to escape the destruction, and thus life began to slowly return after a disaster that claimed the lives of the largest predatory creatures in the world.